Hello, and welcome to our lesson on identifying project risks. This segment will cover Identify Risks Overview, Part 2. The distinction between risk and impact forms a fundamental conceptual framework that underpins effective risk management. A common misconception is the conflation of these terms, risk and impact, particularly when discussing potential challenges or setbacks within a project. To clarify, the risk is the precursor, the foreseen or unforeseen event or condition that, if it materializes, could have consequences on project objectives. On the other hand, impact represents the tangible and measurable effects or outcomes that result from the occurrence of a risk. Risk defined. A risk in its essence is a prospective event or condition that introduces uncertainty into the project's trajectory. Consider the scenario of an unreliable supplier. The risk lies in the inherent unreliability of the supplier, creating the potential for various adverse outcomes such as late deliveries, incorrect items, or inconsistent quality. Identifying the risk involves recognizing the existence of this unreliable supplier and understanding the potential implications it might have on the project's success. Impact as the consequence. In contrast, the impact is the aftermath of the risk materializing. Using the example of an unreliable supplier, the impact could manifest as a delay in the project schedule due to late deliveries or disruptions caused by receiving incorrect items. The impact is the tangible result, the measurable effect on the project's objectives, and it becomes apparent when the risk transforms from a hypothetical scenario into a concrete reality. Understanding the relationship. The critical aspect of distinguishing between risk and impact lies in the proactive nature of risk management. Identifying risks early allows project managers and teams to strategize and implement mitigation plans before the impacts materialize. In the case of an unreliable supplier, recognizing this as a risk prompts the development of contingency plans, such as establishing alternative suppliers or negotiating robust contractual agreements. This proactive approach minimizes the severity of potential impacts, preserving the project's schedule, budget, and quality standards. While the project manager bears the overall responsibility of identifying risks and project risk management, identifying risks is a collaborative endeavor involving various stakeholders, each playing a unique role in strengthening the project against uncertainties. Participants engaged in risk identification activities encompasses a diverse range, including the project manager, project team members, a dedicated project risk specialist, if assigned, customers, external subject matter experts, end users, fellow project managers, operations managers, stakeholders, and internal risk management experts within the organization. It is paramount to emphasize on encouraging all project stakeholders to actively contribute to the identification of individual project risks. This inclusive approach is instrumental in tapping into the collective wisdom and diverse perspectives that each stakeholder brings to the table. Of particular significance is the active participation of the project team in the risk identification process. The project team members, being intimately involved in the day-to-day operations, possess valuable insights into potential challenges that might impact the project. By involving the project team, not only does the collective intelligence of the team contribute to a more comprehensive risk identification effort, but it also fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility among team members. Furthermore, involving the project team in the risk identification process is strategic for fostering a proactive risk management culture within the project. As team members actively contribute to identifying and assessing risks, they develop a nuanced understanding of potential impediments and opportunities. Project risk identification is a dynamic and ongoing process that unfolds at various stages throughout the project lifecycle. Recognizing and addressing potential risks early on is essential for effective risk management. The following phases encapsulate when project risk identification is typically conducted at project initiation. Risk identification initiates during the project's inception, often as part of developing the project charter. The goal is to identify high-level risks associated with the project's scope, objectives, and initial planning. Project planning. As project planning unfolds, detailed risk identification becomes a focal point. The aim is to identify specific risks related to project tasks, resources, timelines, budget, and scope. After identifying potential risks, the focus shifts to assessing their impact and likelihood, understanding the severity of each risk to prioritize them based on their potential impact on project objectives. Regular project reviews and monitoring. Risk identification is an ongoing process throughout the project execution phase. Aim is to continuously assess and identify new risks, as well as reassess existing ones based on project progress and changing conditions. Project change or milestone events. Major project changes, milestones, or critical events trigger a reevaluation of potential risks. The objective is to adapt risk management strategies to align with the evolving project landscape. Project closure. Even as the project nears completion, risk identification remains relevant. Objective here is to identify any residual risks that might affect the project's final stages or post-implementation phases. In summary, project risk identification is not a one-time event, but an iterative and continuous process woven into the fabric of the project lifecycle. Early and ongoing identification ensures that risks are acknowledged, assessed, and effectively managed, contributing to the overall success of the project. This is the end of this segment of our lesson. In the next segment, we shall discuss tools and techniques for identifying risks. Part 1. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening, and see you on our next segment.